Hello, thanks for joining me. This is going to seem a little bit odd for some people and maybe others not so odd. But one of my specialties is creating 3D virtual imagery. Yes, it is a form of photography slash art on a virtual content sense of that. And I basically took what I loved in the real world. I've been a photographer for a very long time in the real world. I utilized the Canon suite, so I had a lot of very expensive gear. I still have it, maintain it, still shoot with it. And when I decided to sort of step away from that world and that business, and just pursue kind of a normal life, I took up imagery in a virtual 3D world. A lot of it translated to what you will see in images. A lot of people that play the same games as I do have asked me numerous times, how do you get such great images? What do you do? I try to help people out in my online community, learning the tools that are available to them, and giving them some basic understanding of photography. I find that a lot of people who get into this and get into games, they don't have any idea they don't have a skill set basically in photography. And yet they do have a great eye and they understand art and imagery and how to make it, maybe compose it. They just don't understand the tools. So I like to help people. That's why why I'm creating this series of videos on what it is that I do, just so I can translate that to people, even people, friends of mine who aren't necessarily in gaming communities and maybe don't understand my art, but they really like it. This is sort of a deep dive into how I get the images that I get. So just a quick introduction. This is my character. I actually fleshed her out in here to create a series of comic books based on a character named Lilith Lamia. And she had a code name, basically Dice, DYC. And I haven't really gotten that off the ground yet, but I still have this great character, and I've invested a lot of time and effort into modeling her and creating her. Now, I'm not a 3D designer. I don't mesh. I don't create all this wonderful mesh that you see in scenes. So by mesh, for people who don't know what that is, it's basically everything you see, from hair to these wings that are moving, to the clothes, to the body itself, to the head. Everything in the scene. Let me back it out a little bit so you can see the scene. All of this is meshed by various artists, and it's all people who actually participate in this world. So this world is designed by the players. Many video games have people who are specifically hired by video game companies to create the content. So it's all optimized and designed and made for it. It's themed appropriately, etc. In this world, the company that created this world basically created a sandbox. And by sandbox, that just means it's a very big, vast, open world with nothing in it. And all of the users had to create the content themselves. You have some very talented artists in this world. Some of them might actually be business people outside of here, and they're coming into this world to create and sell. And a lot of them have made a lot of money doing so. No lie, if I had to put a price tag on it, probably in the range of anywhere from $20,000 a year to $150,000 a year. Some of them might have made even more, seeing that the majority of people in this game are women that like to spend money. You can very well imagine how many pairs of shoes they have, not to mention hair. So this is my character that I fleshed out again, initially for a comic book series, and I've still got that on the radar. But for now, I just like to create lots of really cool images. I'm going to take you through a series of how I put together my doll, I like to call her. The ideas that I have, what I conceptualize, and then show you basically the steps that I take to get to the end process. And then I'll show you the end process. So I'm going to start with this outfit. I didn't want her all nakies, so I made sure that she was appropriately dressed, at least mostly. Wrong angle might show a couple of things, but I'll try to keep it rather peachy. But I'm going to go ahead and start the series with Lilith dressed as a sci-fi girl.